So today's video is going to give the trolls something absolutely to cheer about. I knew you were lying to us. You don't live off grid. I just don't know what to tell you. I got to worry about my wife. That's what I got to do. And if you want to think that I'm lying to you when I tell you what I'm doing today, then I guess that's just something you're going to have to, you know what, just go away. That's what I say. It's not worth it to me. I should be able to take care of my wife the way she wants to be taken care of without worrying about what the trolls think. So as you know, this breaker box here is ours. I've said it many times before. You can see there is no meter base or meter here in the meter base, and the breaker box is defunct. There's nothing to it. There's no electricity in this box. You see the squirrels and the mice have been in it, the wasp. And then when you trace out this wire, it goes underground here a bit, and then we'll come up over here, and somewhere over here it comes out right here. So completely, and you can see it's dead. So we live off solar panels and a battery bank, and it's not an easy system to maintain if you never dealt with it. I built it on myself. I've made it pretty easy over the years, so it's not too complicated to figure out. If you want to run the generator, you turn the generator on and you adjust the battery charger to 25 amps. Everything is pretty self-maintaining now, except on cloudy days you got to start the generator. And the house and the well are hooked up on 10 amps or 10 gauge outdoor wire. So to give you an idea what we have here, we have these two cords coming from the inverters inside the shed. And I'll show you that real quick. So those two plugs, you come in here, plug into here, and then plugs into here. That cord goes to the house. Very little electricity going through that wire. And it's on a small inverter, 1,000 watts. The well goes into the bigger inverter, that's 2,000 watts. So you come back to out here and you have these two cords. Now one of them's kind of buried up underneath here. You can see if we pull the grass away, if we were to lift up this piece of metal, we would probably find it somewhere. Well, it's here. I just don't want to unbury it. So then you see this wire, and this either, whichever one it is, I don't know which one it is. I think this one actually goes to the house. Yeah, this one goes to the house. So this one goes to the house, and the other one goes to the well. So a very simple setup. Nothing complicated about it. I'm sure some troll's going to say, that's not safe, you're going to burn your place down. Well, since this is nowhere near my place, I don't think it's going to burn down. If it burns down the shed, well, you know what? I think it was a $200 shed. And then we got the generator. Oh, and then we have another cord, just like that one. And this one, I use outside. It's not plugged into anything right this minute, but I can use it to run grinders, or that little heater that I use to warm the water tank house with. Just an external plug is all that is. And so the what did I say? Oh, so that the generator is plugged into this. So there's the cord for that, comes in and it runs the battery charger. So if you need to start the generator, all you got to do is plug that green cord in and change this to 25 amps, and it's charging. That's all there is to it. Solar panels do the rest of the work. So if I die, Carolyn doesn't want to deal with that. There's no reason. I mean, I don't blame her. That's kind of my thing. I mean, she enjoys being off grid. Let me rephrase that. She enjoys being off grid. She enjoys not having to deal with the electric company and all the bureaucracy and, you know, all of it. When we built the tiny house, we didn't have to worry about all the codes that the electric would have forced us into. So she enjoys it, but if I die, she doesn't want to mess with it. She wants to be able to turn on the water pump, the well, and it fills the tank. So all she wants to be able to do, and I've made it so she can. We'll come over to the well, I'll show you. She wants to be able to hook the hoses up if they're not hooked up. And she wants to be able to turn the switch on and the well pump works. And as long as that inverter is on, currently, it works. But when the inverter is off, that big one, which it is 90% of the time, then that switch doesn't work. But again, she doesn't want to go down there and mess with that stuff. I understand. I don't know if you do, but I do. I don't even know if what I've explained to you makes any sense. It's not a hard system in my mind. I mean, there's two gray wires that run up through this area, one for the well and one to the house. That's it. And you can unplug them both. So, as I've told you before, we've got this. This was hooked up to the trailer that I tore down. You can go back to, well, you can go to my YouTube channel page, and the video, the very, you know, the trailer to my channel shows you that the trailer was there. So we tore that down, built a tiny house. So this was hooked up to that. So like I said, we got the meter base here, and I'm guessing that's a, what is that, 100 amp meter base, 200 amp meter base, I guess. It doesn't matter. 200 amp, obviously, because we have a 200 amp breaker here. So if I die, Carolyn would like to be able to unplug the house and the well and plug it into the electric company. So she would like to be able to call the electric company, and however long it takes them to get out here to do it, and put in a meter. When the meter's done, installed, she can grab those two cords down there, drag them up here, and plug them in, and now she has unlimited electric. Well, this is not hard. This is actually set up very well to do that. So I don't think I've ever discussed it with you before, but what I intend to do is to put an RV plug here. When you go to an RV park, you will see a plug. I have to come back over here so you can see what I'm talking about. You can get a 20 amp plug, which is like your normal plug-in, you know, for your house. You can get a 30 amp plug at the RV park, or you can get a 50 amp plug at the RV park. And so when you go to the RV park, you have one of these. You own this. I own this. This goes to the generator. This particular one is a 30 amp plug. So, and then it converts it to 120. So you can just plug your appliance into that. So if you go to your camper, so you go to the RV park, you plug this in, you go to your camper, and we have a camper plug right here just to demonstrate what I'm talking about. Then you plug your camper into this. That's exactly what we've got set up down there with those two gray wires. So she wants to be able to just plug in. So all we have to do is get another breaker put into this box. And I'll show you how to do this. This is going to give me a lot of exercise going back and forth here. So all you have to do is this is, if you had electric coming from this box here, I don't know if they're going to let that slide. Oh, that's okay. Okay. I thought it was damaged wire. It's not. Cool. So this here, all you got to do is put a 50 amp breaker here. Now that little pigtail that I showed you, that's 30 amp, but we're going to get a 50 amp breaker here and put it here. So the electric comes into this breaker here, that's your main breaker, into a secondary breaker, which will run out the bottom of here. Wire will come down, and I'm thinking we can use this wire. I think we could. And then we'd have an RV plug right here. It'd be a 50 amp RV plug somewhere right here or here, somewhere around there. I think we can do that. I used AI to find out if I could use this pole to do that, and it says as long as it's between 24 inches off the ground and 7 feet off the ground, somewhere in between there, you can do that. Well, if I put the RV plug here, you can't really do it here because, you know, you're gonna have a plug in there, and the guy who's reading the meter, he's gonna knock it off, and so you can't really do it there. So you put it on the side, or you can make a pole, put a pole here. And I'm hoping I can avoid putting a pole there. I really don't want a pole. We'd just like to have a RV plug put into it. And then all Carolyn has to do is unplug those wires, come up here, plug it into a pigtail that will already be dangling there. You know, I'll buy it for her, so she doesn't even have to worry about that. All she has to do is call the electric company, unplug those 2 cords, drag it up here, plug it in. That's it. That's how easy it will be. So what I'm talking about is the plug is going to look similar, not exactly, to this. So this is a 30 amp RV plug. You can see 120 volt. And it's got a little camper sitting there. RV plug. And so, assuming that we were using a 30 amp over there on the pole, we're not. We're using a 50 amp. This pigtail would already be plugged into it, just like that. And all she has to do is take those 2 cords and plug them into there. It's pretty simple. Now, like I said, I know this is going to cause a problem for this channel. It's going to be a huge problem. So today I got a guy coming over to give me a quote. I've done some lawnmower repair work for him and his dad and his uncle. So I mean, they're good customers. I've worked on his lawnmower twice. So he's coming over today. He's an electrician. He just started his business last year, but he's got 10 years of experience working with another company. And his dad is an electrician, retired. So I mean, the guy knows what he's doing, but this isn't hard. And I almost thought about doing it myself, but the reason I'm not going to do it, 2 reasons. I don't know exactly the materials I need to buy. I probably could go to the hardware store and they would tell me, but I'd be guessing. And secondly, I did some electric work on an old house I had years ago, and I replaced the meter base with a 200 amp meter base, and I messed it up. I followed the advice of Home Depot. They gave me the materials and told me this is what I needed, and when the electric company came out and said, no, you can't do it that way, you have to drill a hole through the roof, I mean, it was just a lot of extra money and extra work. So I don't want to run into that problem this time, specifically because if I'm dead and it's messed up, then Carolyn's got to deal with it. If an electrician comes out and does it and it's messed up and I'm dead, he's got to come out and deal with it. So that's the goal. And the thing is if it is messed up, it wouldn't be that messed up. Even if he'd said, oh no, we got to, you know, change a breaker or something because it's corroded. You know, she could have that done within a couple of hours. So that's the plan, but I just know that I'm going to get absolutely terrorized over this. To the point, you know, I've said this many times, I'm just so tired of this channel. I'm not allowed to do anything in this channel without somebody telling me how to run my life. I live off-grid. I enjoy living off-grid. And if Carolyn dies before me, I will continue to live off-grid for as long as my body is capable of doing it. And it's just not that much work anymore. There's just not a lot to do. Fill the water, bring some firewood in. My grandpa and grandma both brought firewood in till the day they died. So, and if not, then I guess I'll go to a nursing home or whatever. But I don't think I should have to worry about my future and then say, no, I can't do that because the trolls will attack me. And I'm to the point that if this channel dies because of it, if, you know, some hater channel decides to, I knew he didn't live off grid, and destroy my channel, which they've all but done anyways, then so be it. You know, I know there are a lot of people that want me to continue to make videos on this channel, and I intend to for as long as I can. I want the other channel to succeed, so I don't have to rely on this channel because it's dying. But as long as I can make videos, I will. But I'm not gonna tolerate trolls dictating to me how to run my life so they could ruin my channel. And that's all they've done. For the 9 years I've been on YouTube, they have made an absolute effort to ruin my life. You know, telling people in the community through Facebook community groups that I give away free firewood and butcher chickens for free. You know, what is that? That's 60-something-year-old man that immature. You know, that's something a high school prankster would do, maybe even an 8th grade prankster. That's the mentality of these people. So anyway, I'm gonna jump off here. So if you'll click the up next box to take the video on my other channel, really appreciate you. Go check it out. So I hope I can inspire you. Do what you got to do so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.